Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haris Yasin. Today I'm going to present about final year project for my group. The title of my group project is the use of different types of sand in calibration of sand replacement test. Firstly, the introduction. There are also many types of sand such as coral sand, glass sand, silica sand, pit sand, river sand, and much more than this. Sand should also be categorized according to the method of according to sand to size, which consists of three categories: fine sand, moderate, coarse sand, and coarse sand. The variety of mineral material in construction is about infinite. The physical of river needs accurate analysis to obtain the high density from the rock densest to the soft clay. Secondly, problem statement. There are plenty methods to define soil density in situ, such as core technique and replacement technique, rubber balloon technique, heavy oil technique. The core approach is one of the most popular techniques. In addition, the sand consists of set core crystal. Therefore, the best technique to use to identify in situ density and their density is the sand replacement test. This method is useful for the identification of in situ density and the density of various forms of sand that can replace the standard sand used in the laboratory sand replacement test. Thirdly, the objective of our project is to identify different types of sand that can replace standard sand used in the sand replacement test if the sand test. This becomes useful in the case when shortage of the standard sand. And next, scope of study. This study focuses on the river, sea, and quarry sand for various sampling points in the Johor and Malacca state. In cooperation between standard sand to river, sea, quarries, mines of sand, series of tests were performed in the same selectors to produce all data pertaining to sand cone replacement test. The test method for sand replacement was performed on the basis of PS 137749-1990. All the instruments used are for the Tun Hussein on Malaysia University Geotechnical Laboratory. For sea sand, we get the sand from at Lebang Beach. For river sand, we will pick up at Duyung River Sea. And for quarry sand, we pick at Shah Alam. That's all. Thank you.
What is sand? Sand is a granular substance composed of finely divided rocks and mineral particles. It is categorized by its size, which is finer than gravel and coarser than silt. Sand can also be applied to the structural category of soil or soil type, that is containing more than 85% of sand-sized particle by mass. Composition of sand. Sand is basically made of consolidated particulate material, which is composed of rock fragment or mineral particle or marine material. It is mainly made of silicate mineral and silicate rock particle. Type of sand. There are four types of sand: silica sand, river sand, sea or beach sand, and quarry sand. The use of silica sand. Silica sand is typically a form of silicon dioxide made up of two main elements, silica and oxygen. The most common form of silicon dioxide is quartz, which is chemically inert and hard mineral, broke down into tiny granules over time through the wind and water called silica sand. Use of silica sand. Most specifications involve high purity silica sand, which is used as a raw material for the production of glass, silicon carbide, and soluble silicate in the chemical industry. And for modern sand, hydraulic fracturing sand, and filter sand. Different silica sand and other sand. Other sand refer here to regular sand or normal construction sand, which is typically brown and used for concrete application. This also contains some silica, but up to only 80% along with other minerals like iron, potassium, carbonate, and other trace elements. River sand. River sand is lower than fine density of construction sand found along banks and rivers. River sand is cheaper because it obtained naturally. Use of river sand. The use of sea sand and seawater in concrete can improve the sustainability of the natural resource while improving the mechanical properties of concrete. The use of sea sand and seawater concrete will be inevitable borrowed corroded by steel bars. C-sand. These sand are usually acceptable for the construction of base and sub-base concrete, and studies have shown that they could also be made of reinforced concrete. Yet, the building sector is highly reluctant to consider it. However, due to their deposition inside water, these sand contain too much chloride and need to be treated before use. Quarry sand. Quarry dust is a byproduct of the crushing process and is a coagulation material used for coagulation purpose. It can be used as aggregate, especially fine aggregate. In quarry, rocks are crushed into different sizes in the process. The role of sand contesting. In situ field density test, particle size, water content, permeability test, specific gravity test, and direct shear test. The role of sand contesting. Perform soil compaction to increase bearing capacity and reduce settlement. Therefore, it is usually used to build the road fields, ponds, a foundation, and backfill for retaining walls. In the sand core method, a calibration container with a known volume defines the bulk density of the sand used. In situ density field. In fact, this does not happen during the in situ density test. When the sandcone system measures the density of soil, it allows sand to flow out the jar and fill the test. Particle size distribution. Therefore, the ratio of particle size to light wavelength is at least 150. Water content test or moisture content test. Water content is widely accepted as referring to the water that may be evaporated from a soil by heating to between 100 Celsius and 108 Celsius. It may be expressed on either a mass or volumetric basis. Direct shear test. Values of soil shear strength parameters in certain geotechnical practice assignment, angle of internal tension, and cohesion need to be known. While direct shear has many benefits such as simplicity and ease of use. Preparing specific gravity test. Specific gravity test can be conducted according to ASTM testing standard procedure. By subjecting sample to vacuum for at least 2 hours, the result can be achieved. The aim for this test is to find the specific gravity of Ottawa sand. Permeability test, falling head permeability test, and constant head permeability test. To perform the test, equipment such as 3 metal rods and 1 metal cylinder was assembled.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Asnawi and it is my turn to present. I will present about research methodology first. There are 7 methods in our project, which is calibration of the sand, grain size distribution, moisture content, dry sieving, direct shear test, permeability test, and sand replacement method. Firstly is calibration of the sand. This method performed to compare normal silica sand and the other sand. Second is grain size distribution. To get the size of the sand, this method must be performed. Next, the most frequent and simplest test that conducted in laboratory, moisture content test performed to get moisture content of the sand. Then dry sieving test. This test performed to get the particle size of sand. By using the sieve, sand will isolated by their size. Direct shear test also performed in our project. This is because direct shear test can get the shear strength of the sand. Permeability tests have 2 unique tests, which is constant head permeability test and falling head permeability test. Those performed to get coefficient permeability of the sand. Lastly is sand replacement method. To get To get the in situ density of the sand, this method was used. That's all for methodology, and we will go to expected outcome. For expected outcomes, our group members expected that various type of sand will give various characteristics when do some tests on that sand, such as density and dry density that can compare to standard Ottawa sand.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Faizan. I will present about dry seed analysis plan. As you can see, we take four sample of sand, which is from the sand, Surion River sand, Libyan sea sand, Shah Alam quarry sand. And on the left side is the substance that contained in the sand. Refer to table. According to the table, found that standard sand consists of 2% gravel, 97.93% sand, and 0.07 silt. However, for river sand consists of 2.7% gravel, 97.19% sand, and 0.11% silt. For sea sand consists of 0.8% gravel, 99.13% of sand, and 0.07% silt. With quarry sand consists of 7 gravel, 7%, and 92.93% sand, and 0.07% of silt.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haris bin Yassin. Today I want to present about result and analysis of research study. Firstly, moisture content test. From the table above, the moisture content of standard sand, which is Ottawa sand, is only 0.65%. This indicates that the standard sand is particularly totally dry. When compared to other form of sand, sea sand has a moist content of 0.92%, which suggests that the state of sea sand is virtually as dry as standard sand, while the moisture content in quarry sand is 1.13% and 1.49% in river sand. The moisture content in these two types of sand is higher than standard sand, as our research guideline, because the saltiness feature of this sand has may absorb the humidity in the environment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Asnawi bin Ismail, and I will continue my friend presentation. For particle density test, based on the table above, result can see that particle density for standard river, quarry, and sea sand are nearly the same. With standard sand 2.5 gram per centimeter cube, sea sand being 2.35 gram per centimeter cube, quarry sand 2.21 gram per centimeter cube, and river sand being 2.17 gram per centimeter cube. The conclusion that can be drawn from this experiment is that while each type of sand appears to have the same form and size, it may not have the same particle density value.
Next, result of relative density test. From the table above, the relative density value for standard sand, sea sand, and river sand equal to 78.8%, 80.5%, and 76.1%. The value can be categorized in relative density of dense condition because for this condition, the DR value must in range of 65% to 85%. That's all. Thank you.
For direct shear test, as you can see, this is the table that we got from our analysis, which is consists of standard, sea, quarry, and river sand. And on the left side is the value that we take, which is for normal stress and maximum shear stress. The test had been conducted to determine the direct shear of the sample using software in the geotechnical lab. From the graph relationship between shear stress and normal stress below, the cohesion C, which is due to the internal forces holding soil particle together in a solid mass for standard sand is 0 kilopascal. Reverse sand is also 0 kilopascal. Body sand is 40 kilopascal, and lastly, forces sand equal to 20 kilopascal. For the graph, we can see from on the full report.
Next is field density test or sand replacement test or sand cone replacement test. From the table above, results show that dry density of the standard sand and Calibration sand are almost the same, which is 0.94 gram per centimeter cube and 0.96 gram per centimeter cube. Then when we put them in graph, they will see almost 45-degree line compared to the others, which is standard sand and river sand and standard sand and Shah Alam quarry sand. So that is why clay bangsi sand is chosen to replace standard sand in uh, in work. That's all from me. Thank you.
For conclusion, from the study, we can conclude that system is similar to standard sand when compared to sand from river and river quarry sand. The dry density of standard sand and sea sand is almost the same as compared to river sand. Sea sand may be used, may be the perfect replacement for standard sand in sand cone replacement. It is considerably more cost effective to utilize this sea sand in field density test. And recommendation, the number of institute tests must be raised to gather more data and improve accuracy. Expertise advice is recommended to ensure better accuracy. This research should have focused on wider range of sand type to guarantee that it can be used to replace standard sand. That's all from me. Thank you.